What if the thing you once believed was holding you back could actually become your greatest strength? In this episode, I sit down with high performance coach Willie Blake, who shares how being diagnosed with dyslexia at a young age shaped his confidence, mindset, and career path. Willie opens up about the perfectionism and self doubt he struggled with early in life, and how he eventually learned to embrace the unique ways his brain works. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to Career Growth for Working Women. If you're feeling tired in a way rest alone won't fix, or successful on paper but unsure what's next, you're not broken. You're not alone. I'm Shannon, a promotion and compensation coach, and this space is about helping women grow their careers with clarity, confidence, and sustainability, not pressure or hustle. Take a breath, settle in, and let's talk about what's really going on beneath the surface. Hello, welcome to the show. My guest today is Willie Blake, and his story begins with a belief many carry quietly about themselves. Willie was diagnosed with dyslexia in first grade, and for years he believed that meant something about him was broken. Like many people who feel different early in life, he spent years trying to catch up, hide his struggles, and prove that he belonged. Over time, that pressure turned into perfectionism, overthinking, and a constant sense that he needed to work harder than everyone else just to keep up. Eventually, Willie reached a turning point. Instead of trying to hide dyslexia, he chose to lead with it. Today, he works as a high performance coach, helping professionals and entrepreneurs shift from self doubt into clarity, confidence, and consistent progress. Much of his work focuses on helping people who have always felt different or behind learn how to trust their own way of thinking and working. Willie, I'm so excited for today's conversation.
Shannon, I'm also excited. I'm ready for today.
Okay, so you were diagnosed with dyslexia very young. How did that experience, what did that experience teach you about how people see themselves in life and in work? I mean, at that time, I guess it wasn't work, but as you've grown older.
Yeah, you had homework assignments. That was
Yeah.
kind of the work as a kid. But yeah, the diagnosed it was about 6, 7, 8 years old is when it happened, and I was a going out there curious kid, always adventurous. And then I got diagnosed, and all of a sudden my friends started to treat me different. They're like, "Why is Willie every Friday for the last hour of the week going to this other classroom?" And with kids, their imagination goes. So he's like, oh, Willie's the bad kid. He's going to the other
Right.
class. Or it's just like, Willie's this special kid. Regardless of whatever it was,
Right.
he's not normal like us. So Willie, we're gonna go play football. We're gonna go play football, and you hang out here, and we'll hang out tomorrow, which
Right.
tomorrow never came. And
Right.
it's the yeah the just seeing it as I grew up with dyslexia of all of a sudden I started feeling shy, feeling reserved. I always hid my voice because there are a lot of moments where teachers and grown-ups would be like, hey, did this happen? And I'm like, yeah, it did. But without being able to explain my side of the story, they just
Mhm.
give me that punishment. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't think I want to raise my voice anymore because anytime I do, and the way in which my brain processes it, it takes me a little bit longer to communicate,
Right.
then I guess I'll just wait until I can either give the perfect answer or not say anything at all.
Right.
And that's kind
And
of like how it led up.
yeah. And so then that led into your perfectionism, and I'm a recovering perfectionist. And so
Love it.
how did that I mean, and I know that there's probably a lot of our listeners are going, yes, raising their hand, saying, me too. Like I want to be a perfectionist. How did you make that transition from like having that perfectionism to now just leading and owning what you're, like how you lead? I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
took a lot of time. Took a lot
sense.
of time, definitely, all the way up till probably about halfway through college is when it
Oh, wow.
solidified. And that's when I was switching degrees from accounting to business management, when I was learning like this whole realm of entrepreneurship and business as I was reading a lot of books. And that was that kind of point of everything wasn't black and white as I thought
Right.
before, but there is so much gray area in between. And one of the things I was challenging my beliefs with was with dyslexia. That, of
Mhm.
course, it has to do with the reading side and the writing and the speaking. But then there were these other advantages that I started to train myself on, which dyslexics and not just dyslexics, but anyone who's neurodivergent, ADHD, OCD, autistic, like we're great with creativity. We're great with like looking at patterns and recognizing them. Out of the box thinking and problem solving is like a major strength. And we're also really good communicators once we get past our own fears, right? Just because we have sympathy and empathy for other people, because man, we've had to go through so much. And
Right.
so at the end of the day, it's just like there's bad and there's good with everything. But now I get to decide. And I'm
Right.
glad that the past Willie decided to focus more on the advantages because now it's created this place to where I get to help more people out to be able to
Right.
see those that there aren't just disadvantages, they're just untrained advantages.
Right. And I think that women that sometimes that they are feeling like they're behind, whether they have any, dyslexia or like you said, ADHD, we just kind of always feel like we're behind and maybe not capable as someone else, especially in the workplace. And what does that do? What do you think that that does to their mindsets, and how can they make a shift to make that more positive?
What it usually does, I've seen like my clients and the people I've worked with, is always second guessing themselves. They always say, is this right? They might jump to a close friend or chat GBT and just be like, hey, is this actually a good thing I'm
Right.
about to do? So they're always second guessing, as well as the gap in between the time they have a thought and then the time to take action tends to be extended because of just that low confidence. And really, it boils down to the trust they have in themselves.
Hmm.
So, the way to combat that I've seen is to one, do what works for you more often and do what doesn't work for you less often. Now, and not just those generic terms,
Right.
what that looks like, right? What that looks like is like, what are your strengths? What are
Mhm.
things that you're great at? And I know there's a lot of women entrepreneurs out there who one of the great strengths they have is actually great relationship building with the clients or customers that they have.
Yes.
Men in the workplace, they're just like, we're just doing this whole transactional thing, bada bing, bada boom, we're good. But
Right.
like, so they're so strong in building these relationships that they
Mhm.
can go up and they know the names of the people, they know like their passion projects, they might even know like their spouse's name of that. And what a strength when it comes to just running a company and running a business, because now the customer is going to stay because they trust you. And even if the person next door offers them a discount, forget that because they're just a corporation. They're just trying
Right.
to get the dollars. But this team over here knows what's up. That's why it's so
Yes.
like like when you think of banks in small towns, they
Mhm.
know like the local people and they are so loyal to them. Even if those people move out, they're just like, no, we still have our home bank that is just
Yep.
starting to get the internet working at their place.
Because they've had my mom's account, my grandma's account, my
Yeah.
great grandma's account,
Yeah, so you work, so you focus on the strength of what you do, and then on the weakness side, and especially what I do with like dyslexics and neurodivergence, is embrace the whole AI that's coming up.
Mhm.
Because a big thing is the reading and the writing.
Yeah.
And if that's just something you can delegate to either someone else or to an AI bot that you just look at, are able to then proofread,
Mhm.
make it your own, and then
Right.
submit it, well, then that saves you that used to be 30 minutes is now 3 minutes. And then those other 27, you got to focus on the creative side, the stuff that actually moves the needle in your business.
And that you're excited about because
Oh, yeah. And if you're excited, you get more confidence and you build more
right.
trust in yourself. It's just like a
Yes.
wonderful circle.
Yes, and I love that because I think that we talk about strengths a lot on this show because I'm very passionate about it that we all have our different strengths and we need all of them. And so when you're working in a team and if women good at relationships, men can be better at getting things done or moving people forward but you need all of those to make a great team. And I think that that's where communication comes in that you spoke about earlier is just really communicating and it makes you have a more solid team at work.
Yeah, makes it more fun, right?
Yeah.
Makes it like at least you're talking to friends rather than what a lot of people go through, which is show up to work, clock in, do their thing, clock out, and they come home and they're laying in bed being like, I just want to stay up because if I fall asleep, then I'm going to have to
I have to
wake
go
back
back.
up in the morning and rinse, repeat the day. So
Right.
can I just for 20, 30 minutes scroll through social media so I get this break?
Yes.
When you have that team, it doesn't feel that way.
Right. It's fun.
Yeah.
So what role does self-awareness play in people and helping people, break out of their self-doubt?
Well, if you don't know what's wrong or what's going on, then like, why would you want to change in the first place?
Yeah.
Right? All you have is just this feeling of, man, I feel sad. Man, I feel like I'm so burnt out or behind. What the heck should I do? So self awareness applies quite a bit to it because if you're able to figure out what it is that's going on, then that's going to help you to be able to then fix it or at least do something to work on it. I with when it comes to like the just I know I'm bringing up dyslexia because I talk about it a lot, but
No, that's
especially in the workplace, if you diagnosis is important.
mhm.
Diagnosis is important, and maybe this will hit the listeners more. Diagnosis is good, and I support people who do that. But I'm more like after we know what's going on, then what happens?
Mhm.
What do we do next with that? A lot of people see themselves and put these label on themselves. They say, I am the CEO. I am this entrepreneur. And because of that, they have this chip on the shoulder. They have this ego to where they have to carry this persona with them. And that
Yes.
anything that breaks that persona, well, all of a sudden, my world is going to crumble if that happens. Right.
Right. Right.
And man, especially if you're trying something new, like
Yes.
someone who is in their industry and been doing it for years, but then all of a sudden is like, hey, I want to start a podcast.
Right.
That 10 years, that decade of experience, it's just like, well, I've gotten so successful in my career that now I want to either integrate this new thing or try something new. I don't want to go back to step one. I
Right.
don't want to go back to the beginning. But like, that's how we got those decades in the first place, right?
Right.
And
You
so
have to
it's
start it back to step one.
yeah, but the great thing is that it's not step one because of what you've already learned along the way.
Mhm.
It's just being okay with being seen as messy. That it's
Yes.
okay instead of being perfect. That it's okay to do things messy. It's okay to not have them be polished. Structured, of course,
Mm.
structure is important, but they don't have to be so polished. And when you
Right.
do those imperfect actions over those perfect plans that never get done, that accumulates to then getting the result that a lot of people want.
Yes. I have it on my wall. Imperfectly done is better than perfectly not done. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Because
100%.
again, like I said, I'm a recovering perfectionist and I have to remind myself it's okay to go out there messy and try something new. And I'm going to fumble as long as I get back up and keep going. That's to me, it counts. So it's better
I'm
than
right
not
there with
doing
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have to do versions for myself.
Yeah.
So I give myself 90 minutes. That if I'm doing something 90 minutes, I have to put out version one. And
Okay.
then version two can then be done put out in the next 48 hours. And then after that, version three can go to 7 days. That way, for me, at least it's like it's out there. It's okay. I'm not dead. I've survived 100% of the days that I've lived so far, which is
Right.
great. So since I'm still here, I can put out version one, version two, and then continue to improve. And that it doesn't have to be that perfect thing at the beginning.
I love that because it also prevents you from just not taking that action and hesitating. It's okay, I'm giving myself 90 minutes, as you said, and then I'm going to take the action. 90 minutes, and then I'm going to take the action, or whatever that looks like. And it allows you to keep moving forward instead of just staying in your head or in your emotions of like, oh, what happens if it doesn't turn out right?
You know that it allows you to.
Allows you.
We've held this
Yes.
expectation so long.
Yeah.
It's just like allow yourself to be messy, allow
Yeah.
yourself to be a little bit unpolished because guess what? You're still going to be alive, you're still going to have the experience that you have in your career and
Mhm.
you're going to start bringing up what you've been wanting to work on all along.
Yeah. Definitely. So, looking back at your journey, what's the biggest surprise that you have, like taking something that you considered broken in your dyslexia, which is not true, and now having this amazing career and coaching job and all of that, which is a huge strength. Like, what do you look back on and what are you most surprised about in all of that?
Most surprised is my ability to now communicate and storytell.
Mhm.
Because back then it wasn't that way. Literally, I
Right.
would be sitting in the classroom, and I know some people are going to relate to this. I'd be sitting in the classroom. The teacher would say, okay, everybody's going to read their paragraph. We're going to start in this corner and work our way down.
Yes.
No joke. What I would do is I would count the people until it got to me. Then I would count the paragraphs to where I know which one I was going to read and forget about what they were all talking about. I would just be reading silently my paragraph to make sure all the big words I'd be able
Yes.
to say perfectly. And that finally, when I spoke, I can do it and not be judged for it.
Yes.
So,
I did
like,
that. I did
yeah,
that
it's out there. So
too.
like it's just been amazing over the last several years and almost we're getting to a decade soon. It's
Yeah.
just been incredible of seeing that Willie who started his episode 1, put out his first video out to now being able to be more direct, not circling the plane of thought and trying to land it, but being
Yes.
able to do that and really giving impact in the shortest amount of time possible, which time's our biggest factor. So being able to just communicate, it's fantastic.
I love that. I love that. And it has become, you really have embraced it and used it to lead and be a huge strength for you. And I think that that's admirable. And I love that.
I appreciate that.
So, I know that we have listeners here that are raising their hands like, oh, I totally get this. I would love to connect with him. Where's the best place to find you and follow you?
Yes, best place, go to my website, coachwillieblake.com. There it'll have all the links to be able to jump onto your favorite social platform to be able to connect with me, as well as if you're a dyslexic professional or neurodivergent person who wants to work one-on-one and connect with me personally, there's buttons there too to be able to schedule that.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. As we wrap up, I always love to leave my listeners with a small action step or shift change that they can make today. So, what is one challenge that you would give them?
It would be that you're not behind, you're just still in park.
Ooh.
So if you imagine you're getting ready to go do the grocery store, you open that car, you sit down, pull up Apple or Google Maps on your phone, click that directions button, it gives you that perfect route. You put it up and you press that start button, you're like, all right, we're going to get some chores done today. But you never take your car out of park.
Mhm.
How fast are you going to get there?
You're not.
Not fast at all. And so many people are that way to where they might know exactly what they want and they have that plan, the blueprint to get there, but they don't take the first step. They don't
Yes.
take that metaphorical car out of park. So, what I would challenge is to take a car out of park in what I call the 2% rule, which is taking 2% action every single day as you work towards your goal. If that goal
Oh,
is 100%, just 2% each day. And it can
yes.
be small as if you're working on getting that six pack, walking 5 minutes or doing a push up. If you're working on being spiritual, taking that nature walk or reading the scripture. Or if you're trying to grow your finances, putting $1 into savings to be able to invest, or talking with somebody about a project that could make you an extra $1,000 over the weekend. Like it's just little steps at a time that are going to get you the big results.
I love that. 2%.
2%.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Shannon. Thank you for the opportunity.
Before you go, I want you to know this. You don't have to figure out your next move alone. If you're feeling stuck, under-recognized, or unsure what's realistically possible in your current role, I offer promotion strategy calls where we walk through your goals, your role, and what makes the most sense for you next. No pressure, just clarity. You can book that call through the link in the description. And if this episode resonated, would you share it with another woman who might need it right now? Leaving a review also helps this show reach more women who are ready for real career growth. I'll see you next time.